Stopping contact with a woman is one of the most powerful moves a man can make in dating, but it's also one of the most misunderstood. Most men think silence means loss, that pulling away will push her further away. The truth is, when done correctly, stopping contact triggers deep psychological reactions that reveal her true feelings, her intentions, and her level of investment. If you understand this, you can regain control, maintain your value, and watch the dynamic shift in your favor. Here's the thing. Women are wired to respond to absence. When a man disappears, intentionally or not, it creates space where emotions begin to surface. The woman who was previously distant, distracted, or even indifferent suddenly starts noticing your absence in ways she never did before. She begins to feel curiosity, tension, and even longing, sometimes before she realizes it herself. This isn't manipulation, it's psychology. Silence forces reflection, comparison, and often desire. But stopping contact isn't about playing games or trying to punish her. It's about reclaiming your energy and testing the real depth of her interest. Many men lose themselves in chasing, texts, calls, and overinvestment, only to be left frustrated. By stepping back, you shift the power. You show her that your time and attention are valuable, and she can't take them for granted. This video will break down exactly what a woman does when you stop contacting her. You'll learn the subtle signs that she's reacting, how her behavior changes, and how to interpret her actions without losing your frame. Most importantly, you'll discover why stepping back isn't weakness, it's strength, and it's the fastest way to reveal the truth about her feelings. By the end, you'll know how to handle silence strategically, how to watch her reactions carefully, and how to ensure that your absence puts you in the driver's seat of the dynamic. 1. Initial reaction. The first thing a woman does when you stop contacting her is react, and that reaction is telling. Most men don't understand how significant this initial response is because it happens beneath the surface. Even if she doesn't reach out immediately, her mind starts processing the absence. She begins to notice what she's missing and how your presence affected her life. In the first 24 to 48 hours, she might feel confusion or mild curiosity. Why hasn't he texted me? She thinks. The sudden silence disrupts her expectations. She may have been used to constant attention, immediate replies, or casual interactions, and now that pattern is broken. That disruption forces her to stop and notice the void you've created. Some women respond internally first, replaying past interactions, conversations, and moments she shared with you. She evaluates whether she values the connection, and this reflection often leads to one of two paths: desire or indifference. A woman who had a genuine emotional connection starts feeling tension. She wonders why you stopped contacting her and may even begin to feel a pull toward reaching out. Others may try to rationalize your absence. She tells herself, he's busy. He must be doing his own thing. Or maybe he lost interest. These thoughts are her mind's way of coping with uncertainty. But deep down, she feels the absence, and that feeling isn't something she can ignore for long. Even if she outwardly acts indifferent, her subconscious is processing it. The men who panic at this stage make the biggest mistake. They overanalyze, send messages to explain themselves, or try to fill the silence. Doing this instantly removes the psychological pressure you've created and hands her control back. Silence is only powerful if it's maintained. Your absence is the mirror reflecting her true feelings. In short, the initial reaction is critical. Her thoughts, her subconscious processing, and even her brief temptations to reach out all reveal how invested she really is. If you can step back, watch, and resist the urge to break the silence, you give yourself an advantage. You create tension, curiosity, and the space for her to evaluate her own feelings, all while preserving your frame and reinforcing your value. 2. Curiosity kicks in. After the initial reaction, curiosity begins to surface. This is where the real psychological shift happens. When you stop contacting her, she suddenly notices the absence of your energy, attention, and presence. Humans are wired to pay attention to what's missing, and women are no exception. She begins to ask herself questions. Where is he? What is he doing? Why isn't he reaching out? These thoughts can dominate her mind more than she realizes. Curiosity is dangerous for a man who isn't disciplined because it can trigger a quick response from him. Most men misinterpret her silence or delayed reaction and rush to fill the void with messages, calls, or overcompensation. But the true power of no contact comes from letting curiosity develop naturally. When you don't respond immediately, her mind starts filling in the blanks. She begins imagining scenarios, reflecting on your interactions, and assessing her own feelings toward you. This stage also reveals a lot about her intentions. A woman who cared will start to think about the moments you shared, the conversations you had, and the emotional connection that existed. Even small memories like a shared laugh or meaningful compliment can trigger a strong desire to reach out. Her curiosity pulls her forward mentally, long before she makes any physical move to contact you. However, if she was indifferent or minimally invested, curiosity alone may not be enough. She may notice your absence, but quickly rationalize it away with excuses. He's probably busy, or he's doing his own thing. This is where many men get confused, thinking that silence always guarantees attention. It doesn't. Curiosity only has an effect if there was emotional investment to begin with. The key takeaway is that curiosity creates tension, and tension drives attraction. If she's invested, that curiosity will grow stronger over time. She will start watching your social media, asking mutual friends about you, and even testing the waters to see if you're still available. The longer you maintain no contact, the more that curiosity builds into an almost magnetic pull. This is why patience is critical. Your role is to remain silent, consistent, and composed while observing her reactions. Let her mind do the work for you. The longer curiosity has to build without interference, the stronger her eventual actions will be. A man who responds too quickly squanders this stage, while a man who stays firm strengthens his position and forces her to confront her feelings directly. Curiosity is the spark that no contact ignites. If handled correctly, it will make her question, reflect, and ultimately feel a pull toward you that she cannot ignore. 3. Testing limits. Once curiosity sets in, a woman often begins testing limits. This is a natural response when she feels uncertainty about your attention and availability. When you stop contacting her, she can no longer predict your behavior, and that unpredictability triggers her to probe, push, and evaluate how much control she actually has. These tests can come in subtle forms: a casual message, a like on social media, or a playful comment. The goal is not always conscious. Often, she's testing to see if she can still draw a reaction from you. Understanding this stage is critical because most men misread these tests as genuine engagement. They respond immediately, invest emotionally, and try to interpret meaning where there may be none. That reaction gives her exactly what she wants: validation and reassurance that she still holds power. By responding impulsively, you undo the psychological advantage that stopping contact created. A woman's tests are also a reflection of her perception of your value. If she senses you are calm, confident, and detached, her tests may intensify. She will try different approaches to gauge whether you are still under her influence. These can include playful teasing, subtle emotional triggers, or attempts to evoke jealousy. The man who maintains his frame doesn't respond emotionally. He observes, assesses, and decides strategically whether engagement is warranted. Another important aspect of testing is timing. She might reach out after days or even weeks, attempting to see if her absence affects you. This is why consistency in your no-contact strategy is essential. Every time you break your silence without a strategic reason, you teach her that your attention is optional and easily won back. That's the opposite of the effect you want to create. Tests also reveal her priorities. A woman genuinely invested in you will show effort that is meaningful, intentional, and consistent. A woman less invested may disappear again or send weak, non-committal messages. By observing her actions rather than assuming intentions, you gain clarity on whether she is worth your energy. Finally, maintaining boundaries during this stage is key. Respond only when it serves your frame, and never out of fear or longing. Let her tests demonstrate who is in control, the one chasing or the one standing firm. Her reaction to your silence and measured engagement will ultimately reveal her true feelings and level of commitment. Testing limits is not a trap. It's an opportunity. It exposes her priorities, intentions, and emotional responses. The man who navigates this stage with patience and self-respect strengthens his position, maintains his value, and ensures that any future connection is on his terms. 4. Signs she misses you. After stopping contact, one of the clearest indicators of her feelings is how she begins to show that she misses you. This doesn't always come in obvious ways, like sending long emotional messages immediately. Often it's subtle, small gestures, comments, or indirect attempts to reconnect that reveal her growing awareness of your absence. Understanding these signs is crucial because they tell you whether your strategy is working or if she remains indifferent. One common sign is increased engagement on social media. She might start liking your posts more frequently, commenting casually, or sharing content that reminds her of your connection. These actions may seem insignificant at first, but they indicate that you're occupying her thoughts. A woman who wasn't affected by your absence wouldn't make these subtle efforts to notice or interact with you. Another sign is indirect communication through mutual friends or shared circles. She may ask questions about you, mention your name in conversation, or attempt to learn about your activities. This type of behavior shows curiosity and concern, even if she's not reaching out to you directly. It's her way of gauging whether you are still present and engaged in life, without exposing vulnerability by contacting you herself. You may also notice changes in her demeanor when you cross paths. Increased eye contact, lingering glances, or small gestures that suggest she wants attention are common indicators. These are nonverbal signs that she's feeling your absence and that her mind is reflecting on your presence. Observing these cues allows you to confirm that your decision to stop contact is having an effect. Subtle communication through casual messages can also signal that she misses you. A seemingly innocuous hey or comment about something you share in common may be her testing the waters. She's reaching out in a low-risk way to see if you're responsive and to assess whether your absence has changed her position in your life. Her tone, timing, and consistency are key indicators of genuine interest. It's important to distinguish between mild curiosity and meaningful signals. A woman who truly misses you will demonstrate consistent, intentional effort. She may engage repeatedly, show genuine concern, and make an effort to reconnect. Those who are indifferent may try briefly but quickly disengage when you don't respond immediately. Recognizing the signs she misses you allows you to act strategically. It provides insight into her emotions, intentions, and priorities. By observing her behavior carefully, you maintain your frame, avoid unnecessary overreactions, and ensure that any reconnection happens on your terms, not hers. 5. Emotional shift. Once a woman starts noticing your absence, an emotional shift begins to take place. This is where psychology comes into play. She begins to feel the void you've created, and that absence triggers reflection, longing, and sometimes even regret. Most men underestimate how powerful this stage can be because it's subtle at first and often internal. Understanding this shift is key to maintaining your frame and predicting her next moves. The emotional shift usually starts with awareness. She becomes conscious of your value and presence in her life only when it's no longer immediately accessible. Your previous efforts, attention, and connection now become highlights in her mind because there's nothing to distract her from remembering them. Suddenly, she realizes what she took for granted. From awareness, her emotions move to tension. This is where the pull begins. She feels an internal tug toward you because the absence of your presence creates uncertainty and curiosity. Humans naturally respond to voids in their environment, and women are no exception. The tension can manifest in restlessness, distraction, or even subtle attempts to seek information about your activities. As the emotional shift progresses, longing may emerge. She begins thinking about shared moments, past conversations, and emotional intimacy you provided. This longing can be confusing to her because it comes at a time when she might have felt secure ignoring you. The sudden realization that your attention is no longer guaranteed triggers deeper reflection on her true feelings. Regret often follows if she had undervalued your presence or took your attention for granted. This is where her behavior may start to change. She might reach out, increase effort, or demonstrate more interest than before. The emotional shift is her subconscious way of processing what she's lost, even if she doesn't articulate it immediately. It's important to note that not every woman will experience all stages of this shift. Emotional responses vary based on investment, past connection, and personality. Some may simply feel curiosity without deep emotional engagement, while others undergo a full reflection that drives them toward reconnection. Your role as a man is to observe these signs without overreacting, ensuring you maintain control while letting the shift naturally unfold. This is also why maintaining no contact is so effective. The absence of your presence allows her emotions to surface authentically. If you were to reach out prematurely, you'd disrupt the shift, remove tension, and risk returning to the old dynamic where she controlled the pace. By standing firm, you let the emotional shift progress, giving you insight into her true feelings and intentions. The emotional shift is a clear indicator of how your absence affects her. It shows whether she values you, whether she is willing to act, and whether she is ready to engage on your terms. Observing and respecting this natural process allows you to stay in control and make decisions that reinforce your frame and your value. 6. Testing the waters. After the emotional shift begins, a woman will often start testing the waters to see if your absence has truly changed the dynamic between you. This is her way of gauging whether you remain interested, whether you've moved on, or how much control she still has over your attention. Understanding this stage is critical because it often determines how the rest of your interactions will play out. Testing the waters can take many forms. Sometimes it's a casual message, a simple "hey," or a question about something neutral. Other times it's indirect, like liking a post, commenting subtly, or engaging through mutual friends. These actions are low-risk attempts to measure your reaction. She's not necessarily reaching out because she wants to fully reconnect. She's testing whether your absence affects you and whether she can regain influence. The most common mistake men make during this stage is overreacting. A weak response, a long-winded message, or instant emotional engagement teaches her that her efforts are effective, even if they're minimal. That immediately flips the power back to her, undoing all the leverage you gained by stopping contact. A strong man observes, evaluates, and responds strategically, maintaining his frame and reinforcing the boundaries he established. Timing and tone are critical. Responding too quickly or too eagerly signals that your attention is easy to access. Waiting to respond, keeping your message concise, and controlling the energy you give communicates value and self-respect. If she's testing, she will often follow up in multiple ways. By maintaining composure, you allow her intentions to reveal themselves through consistency or lack thereof. Testing the waters also exposes her true level of investment. A woman who is genuinely interested will make meaningful attempts to reconnect, not just casual probes. She will engage in ways that demonstrate curiosity, effort, and emotional involvement. A woman who is indifferent or only casually invested will give inconsistent signals and quickly retreat when she doesn't get immediate attention. Your role during this stage is to observe and assess without being emotionally reactive. Every interaction should serve the purpose of clarifying her intentions, not validating her actions. By letting her test and revealing her true feelings, you maintain control of the dynamic, ensuring that any future connection is built on her genuine effort rather than your desperation. In short, testing the waters is a phase where she measures your response, gauges your value, and assesses how much control she has. A man who remains calm, strategic, and detached will pass this test effortlessly. Those who respond impulsively or emotionally fail, giving her the upper hand. Recognize the signals, hold your frame, and let her show her true intentions. 7. Reconnection or closure. The final stage after you stop contacting a woman is either reconnection or closure. Her response to your absence ultimately reveals her level of investment, her intentions, and whether she values your presence in her life. This is the stage where everything you've done during no contact, holding your frame, maintaining silence, and observing her reactions, pays off. Reconnection happens when she demonstrates genuine effort and consistent interest. This can be through meaningful messages, seeking to meet in person, or showing attention that reflects emotional engagement rather than casual curiosity. Women who are genuinely invested will take initiative, make time, and communicate clearly, demonstrating that your absence made her realize your value. At this point, you have the advantage. You can respond strategically, engage selectively, and let her match your energy, ensuring the dynamic is balanced. Closure, on the other hand, occurs when her efforts are inconsistent, minimal, or completely absent. Not every woman will respond to your absence with genuine interest. Some will continue to rationalize your silence, maintain distance, or fade away entirely. While it may feel disappointing, closure is valuable because it quickly eliminates uncertainty. It reveals who is genuinely invested and who is not, allowing you to redirect your energy toward people who respect your time and value. Your decision during this stage is crucial. If she reconnects, it's not a free pass to revert to old patterns. Engage with control and assertiveness, maintaining the boundaries you established. Don't chase, don't over-explain, and don't let past dynamics dictate your behavior. Let her prove through consistent actions that she deserves your attention. If closure occurs, embrace it without regret. Recognize that your absence acted as a filter, revealing true intentions. Walking away with confidence preserves your frame, your dignity, and your time. It also signals that you're a man who doesn't compromise value for validation, a trait that increases respect in all future interactions. The key takeaway is this: stopping contact forces clarity. It reveals her investment level, exposes her intentions, and gives you the opportunity to regain control of the dynamic. Reconnection rewards her effort, while closure frees you from wasted energy. Either outcome strengthens your position, reinforces your frame, and teaches both parties the importance of respect and value. By the end of this process, you'll see clearly who truly cares, who is willing to invest, and who isn't worth your time. Your silence isn't passive. It's a powerful tool that reveals the truth and puts you back in the driver's seat of the relationship. Stopping contact is not about punishment. It's about clarity and control. Her reactions reveal her true feelings, intentions, and investment. Whether she reconnects or fades away, your absence forces the truth to surface. Patience, observation, and maintaining your frame ensure that any engagement happens on your terms. Reconnection rewards genuine effort, while closure frees you from wasted energy. The man who understands this doesn't panic, doesn't overreact, and doesn't compromise his value. Silence becomes a tool, not a game. Mastering it gives you control, respect, and insight into her psychology, letting you lead every interaction with confidence.